we're gonna drive it till the wheels fall off or the rods come out. And I can almost guarantee you the rods will come out. We definitely got our work cut out for us. It's not the prettiest thing in the world. What's going on, guys? This is my single cab. We have some bad ideas, Taylor and I. We're planning on making this thing into like a little bit of a fun truck. We got a motor for it. We're gonna slap some big fuel in it and a big turbo and hopefully make some power, and might go hurt some feelings out at Banshee Hill and Sand Mountain.
We're common rail swapping it.
This truck is getting a 7.3 Power Stroke. We're gonna hit up my homie right here, Mr. Ford All Built. We're gonna throw an S4 67.7 on the truck and some 400/400s.
This is all budget. This isn't best of the best parts. This is like, okay, everybody wants a fast truck, everybody wants to do this and that, but can we do it with a normal guy budget?
The hitch on this truck, if you come take a look at this, Mr. Ben, it is permanently installed. I had to tow a trailer, and when worst comes to worst, you pull out the Lincoln welder and make stuff happen. You can see that we had to smoke it with a sledge to get it in that far. It hits the ground pretty early, so once we get it down, you'll see this here in a second. If you look here, the starter is on the ground. Bought this truck originally because it had a pretty decent motor. I built the motor for my crew cab and was having a lot of problems with keeping it running. Unfortunately, I was not too smart with how I built the motor. Come to find out that I had some problems with the injectors. I thought it was the motor the whole time. So I pulled the motor out of this thing and I slammed it into my crew cab, and that thing's back up and running. So it's been a great idea for me. I bought it for pretty cheap, and I got my use out of this thing, as you can see. Not the nicest truck in the world, but we're gonna show you guys what we can do with a cutoff wheel and a little bit of money and some free will. Pardon the winch, that was probably pretty annoying. But yeah, as you can see, this truck, not the cleanest on the inside. I definitely robbed some parts and put it onto another truck and sold some parts to friends. There you go. So that engine is the one that we're gonna be putting in this truck. It is out of my crew cab Ford, 300 and some odd thousand miles on it. It was removed because it had a ton of blow-by and was blowing oil out of the dipstick. Pulled it out and bought some new pistons for it. This engine was completely honed and machined by me in my shop, my dad's drywall shop. My dad also owns a dustless blasting company. He sandblasted stuff inside of the shop. I can almost promise you that there is contaminants inside of that oil pan, but that's not gonna stop us. The engine has ARP head studs, ARP made studs, ARP connecting rod studs. It's got a Melling low pressure, high volume oil pump in it. All brand new bearings, brand new heads, just completely redone and modified.
But it's not blueprinted.
Everything came out right into the motor. Nothing was double checked, nothing was measured. The truck built oil pressure, it ran, it had 238-200s in it with a 66 millimeter charger. It ran really good. I had some problems with the injectors, pulled them out 2-3 times, and then after that I just said, I'm done, I don't wanna deal with this anymore. Pulled the motor out of the single cab, put that into my crew cab, put the engine from the crew cab that I built right there. And it has been there for 3 years.
This will be my first time dabbling into the 7.3 performance world. I'm not that excited, but we do have a lot of help from Ford All Built, the man, the myth, the legend. So I think with him and Bryce, you know, they love these things. They know a ton about them, that we can make something pretty rowdy. Kind of our plan is for this truck to make it look total sleeper, super ugly on the outside, but kind of do our speed lab touch like on our drag truck and our C20, to where when you open the hood, it's flawless, everything's painted, everything's powder coated, and it looks perfect and performs, but while doing it on a budget. So Harbor Freight paint guns, you know, cutoff wheels, just sanding everything, but not going like super crazy, but just something that's respectable. So we're gonna put Ford All's secret sauce on the trans, which is a stock E4OD, so probably just some valve body tweaks, billet triple disc. We might buy an input shaft for it, because on these they're easy enough, you can just slide it in. But other than that, we're just gonna see how you can push the limit of this old, you know, technology. And not many people try to make 7.3s fast because everyone says it's a huge waste of time, they don't make any power, but our goal is to kind of try to prove them wrong. So we plan on doing sand drags with this truck, cash days in Mexico with this truck, I don't know, just make it a sleeper, everyday traffic, blow people's doors off, stuff like that. Another reason why we hit up Ford All and drug them all the way here to Reno is because back in the day, he had a shorty OBS that was super rowdy. Give us a little background on that. Not all the secrets, but a little bit of what you did with it, some things that we're going to copy.
So that one basically started out as a long bed truck, obviously. Cut it down to a short bed, which we're going to do with this one. It's all factory frame, factory suspension, pulled 160, 60 foot.
And then what was your best quarter mile time with it?
1101 on stock trans with stock bottom end 7.3.
Nitrous?
Nope, fuel only.
Fuel only. That's fast. And how much do you think it weighed?
At the time, probably 4,900-ish.
If you could build this truck again, you're like your shorty, what do you think nowadays would be the ideal setup, especially at our elevation, because we're almost 5,000 feet here, and that's mostly where we'll be driving it. But as far as turbo, fuel, all that, I mean, does it need all that stuff that he did, or would you do it on a stock motor too?
I would have done it on a stock motor just because budget-wise.
And it lived?
Oh yeah, I never threw a rod, nothing. I cracked a block once. It's hard to say. I mean, tuning plays a big part nowadays. Back then, I mean, pretty much every time you start the truck, I'd go throw a rod. But tuning from 10 years ago. But I think a factory forged rod motor can live pretty long in these things nowadays.
And then what about fuel, air, all that? What would you do up here?
I would do at least a 300, 200. 4.4s do just fine. You can almost make probably close to the same power on 3.2s. Definitely S400. Probably shoot for a 467.7 for the elevation up here.
So as you see here, I got a haircut. It's time to do the same thing to this truck. We're gonna cut it down. Our original plan with this is we were gonna do a short bed conversion on it. So you cut out however many inches that is to get it down to a short bed. But we came to the conclusion, instead of having a long bed or a short bed, we're gonna go somewhere in between, because personally, a single cab short bed kind of looks a little funky to me. He agrees, he owns one. That's all I need to know. So if you see here, he's got his little mock-up line going, and he's trying to see how much he wants to take out. Right now we're set at 10 inches. We're just gonna see what we got. Kind of go based upon opinion, and hopefully we don't cut too much and regret it in the long run. So what do you think, 10 or 12?
11.
11?
11.
Let's cut the difference and go 11.
12 or 11 or 10. Rock, paper, scissors.
Let's do pick a number.
Pick a number?
Well, Ben's gotta do it, yeah.
Ben, pick a number between 1 and 15. You know, you wonder why stuff doesn't get done.
Action.
Pick a number between 1 and 20.
2.
See, that's not fair. There we go, 11. 11 it is. Next step, we're going to pull the bed off, start measuring the frame, marking the frame. We're going to do somewhat of a step for strength when we cut the frame and take the section out and then move it forward. But we'll have to do drive line, brake lines, all that kind of stuff. Fuel lines, we'll pull the fuel tanks just to give us a bunch of room. But that is our next step, so get the PB Blaster.
Ben, don't stick your hand in there. It's all fine, it's just random wires.
Ooh, it's about to fall off.
Yeah, I don't.
That sounds like 25 pounds. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna
We
get
should do it and not measure anything. That'd be sick.
Yeah, no, come on. This has gotta be right.
I'm not even gonna make a template, I'm just gonna cut this.
So next is we're gonna get the drive shaft out, and then we're going to make a little bit of a design. After we grind this all down, design with like electrical tape or something so we can follow it and measure it, make sure it's all the same.
Nice.
So we're just going through to make sure that where the frame is cut is the same elevation. We're trying to zero it out, make sure it's as level as possible, but we're gonna throw a whole bunch of tacks on this, pull it out so we can visualize it and see if it looks goofy to us, but it really doesn't matter because we're just gonna weld bed sides on with rods and they determine how the truck looks. What do you think?
I think that's it. Just medium bed, F250.
You guys want to just scratch this and build an airport tug with a little baby truck?
What's up, guys? Taylor from the Speed Lab. This is not our sport chassis, but holy crap, look at this. It just rolled in the shop today. To have this, you have to have something to tow. So you got to be able to afford this, and whatever you're towing is probably more expensive.
You know, I've been seeing it for years. There's nothing like the smell of a brand new sport chassis.
Back over here, real life. Bryce started on this, went kind of crazy. He's got most of the front clip off. We still got to do some HVAC stuff here, but our goal is anything that is not necessary to drive is gone. We'll show you the pile here in the back. So all this was in a single cab truck, probably 300-400 pounds. That's my guess. We still got spare tire, fuel tank. Cab is about 3/4 the way gutted. Bryce had a lot of fun with this because he didn't have to be careful.
This is insane. First problem, glow shift gauges, not good. But this is insanity. It's wrapped around the e-brake cable. Pull this out, pull this out, pull this out, pull this out. Oh my God, dude. Look at this. This is insane. If you do this to your truck, oh my God. All this to see how much boost you're pulling with a factory truck with a PHP Hydra. Oh, and gotta have the clock. Don't forget the clock. We have to see what time it is.
At least we got to reuse and rewire.
I'll reuse EGT, boost, and trans. There's no reason to have a clock. What in the hell?
That's to this semi-truck light,
Oh,
whatever this is.
we're keeping that. Yeah, so in the middle of yanking out all of this crap, and I thought I would just talk a little bit about that monstrosity. Don't do that. Thank you for joining my TED Talk. So we got everything taken out for the most part. Interior's completely gutted. I got the cab mounts out. I had to cut the cab mounts apart to be able to get the rears out because they're pretty hard. But keep the ball rolling on this. We got the whole rear of the chassis all taken apart. No more fuel tank, no more spare tire. But what I did here was I took the overload and the underspring out, and this thing actually ended up being pretty spongy. So I think we're gonna have to figure some stuff out with the shocks to make it ride as best as we can. Of course, I can swap leaf springs and make a shackle and a new hanger and stuff like that to be able to get a super nice ride, but it really doesn't matter. This thing just needs to party hard and be hysterical while doing so. But what we're doing now, I'm gonna get the cab off, put it down on casters, wheel it outside, pressure wash the whole interior because this truck was a farm truck. It is pretty nasty on the inside. And the last thing I really wanna be doing is mobbing in the dunes with dust in my eyes. We got the cab all torn off. Everything's pretty much stripped down. Still got some fuel lines and brake lines to remove and little bushings and mounts and stuff like that here and there. But we got it all taken off. Getting ready to get the whole thing pressure washed and ready to roll. That's what we're doing over here with the cab. But I think next is get the frame fully welded, reinforce some places here and there.
All right, so we made an interesting discovery on this truck. The frame was completely cracked, and the previous owner never told Bryce when he bought the truck, of course, until he saw him years later. Did this repair. I'm probably just gonna try to tie into all this, actually get some decent welds that penetrated instead of just all these boogers. Yeah, we don't really want to redo all this. We'll see when it breaks and we're like, oh crap, we were there, we should have redone it. So check that out. All right, here's my not so proud repair. What's that saying? Making chicken wet? Out of chicken what?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one. But we will send it and we will see. God, that's so bad. I hate this.
It's gonna go through the dunes. It's gonna break. We're gonna cut everything in half and redo it like 12 more times, so you might as well get used to going.
When it's tube chassis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotta get this thing all torn apart, get it ready for paint. We are going to be doing what we normally do, which is just a gloss black finish and some powder coat here and there. Gonna be hitting up Michael Lucio for the oil cooler relocation kit. Get rid of the factory oil cooler on this. A few little odds and ends that we're gonna get upgraded on it. I think we're looking good under here. Thank God it was all covered sitting outside for a while, so I don't see anything I don't like underneath. God, taking apart this motor really makes me think of that little Big Town song, Better Man. I wish I was a better man. And not too shabby for a 20-year-old in a drywall shop, but there is definitely some things that I'm looking at this right now just going, wow. We won't be talking about that very much. I'm gonna get the motor mounts off, get this thing pretty much disassembled to where we can mask it all off and paint it, get it all wire wheeled and everything. Definitely gonna be a little bit of a project, but not for me. For Benny boy, he's gonna have a blast with this. So, about to do the Lincoln Locker mod on this old pickup truck here. You got it all cleaned up, ready to go. Pretty darn good. Now comes the pump.
Don't be scared, dude.
Nothing like 6 cans of brake clean in the diff and homie just throws the torch in there like it's nothing. Oh my God. Yeah, gonna get this thing all preheated, get it ready to weld, and burn her in, flip the pinion 180 degrees, and then do the other side. Oh yeah, that'll do. That'll do some damage, that's for sure. So we're gonna go through here and TIG weld the camshaft gear onto the cam itself, because the camshaft on high horsepower 7.3s, they like to walk the gear off. And it's just, we're here, we might as well take care of that. So Taylor's gonna hop on the old TIG machine, get her all welded up.
You know what an old man once told me? Trucks are white, tractors are green, and welders are blue.
Normally he's got flip-flops on, rocking the Vans with no shows.
Not bad for a window tinner. You guys come do my job, and then we can talk. All right, so this is gonna wrap up our series somewhat that we're doing on the Shorty single cab here. We got pretty far on it, but if we made a video on this entire thing in one video, it'd probably be an hour and a half long. So we're gonna break it up, but this is our part 1 of many to come. Part 2, stay tuned. This thing's getting a major overhaul, even though we said we're probably keeping it the way it was since Bryce started working on it. That don't fly here, so stay tuned.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Just a quick reminder, we are doing a cooler giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. We will be sending a brand new Yeti cooler with wheels to somebody, any color of your choice. We'll drop ship it to your house. Make sure you get us to 1,000 subscribers. Share, like, subscribe, comment, whatever you can do. Send it to your friends and family. Go to your neighbor's house with your phone and show him the video. Go to work, take your phone with you. Hook it up to the smart TV. Play it in front of everybody. Go to your local police station.
I don't think we're getting on plane, but be able to get to the hole.